Okay, after all those numbers, we need some analysis. For more on the global economic outlook, Saruhan Hatipoglu, he is the CEO of consulting from Beri SA. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, Phil.
You know, that was a lot of numbers we went through, but I think the bottom line is the economies around the world are certainly not out of the woods yet. Debt being a main issue and growth also being a main issue as well. In terms of 2013, why is the debt ceiling debate this time around, or should I say, is it going to be any different than the last debates that we've had when you talk about debt levels?
Well, I'm going to start by saying where were we left, right, from 2012. We're talking about the same things. The U.S. debt issue is quite critical right now, and the reason for that is simply the U.S. government has already spent this money. There's some kind of a misperception here. People think if the government argues or the Congress argues about a debt ceiling negotiation, it's sending a message saying that you should cut spending. But that's not the situation. The money has already been spent. The Congress has to approve this so that the money that's been spent will be paid. If you and I, Phil, open a consulting company and we apply for a loan, and the bank says, well, you know what, we need to see some money in your bank account, and we decide not to pay our credit card bill to save money. That's the situation right now.
But I'll play devil's advocate because, yes, part of the funds have been spent, so that's the debt ceiling debate. But obviously, Congress, or part of Congress, will use that as an opportunity to discuss the spending cuts that have been delayed now to the end of February. Right. I mean, how's that going to go?
Well, if you delay that, Beri is not a political consulting company, but if we were to give a free advice to GOP leadership here, we would tell them not to use the debt ceiling as a leverage because they're going to lose the election in 4 years. This is critical. This is money spent. They have to approve this. They can talk about deficit reductions. They can talk about tax increases some other time, but currently, the Treasury hit that 16.4 trillion target. Geithner has said, we've taken extraordinary measures to deal with that, and we can do it until 1st of March. And then we'll use cash in hand. They don't have that much time left.
I have an almost, casual question, but it's a very serious one because we just went through all the economic issues in Europe, or part of them. We have the debt ceiling debate. We have a lot of issues that remain unresolved, yet the markets, the stock markets are all near multi-year highs. The credit markets seem very happy. Is there a disconnect between what the markets are telling us and what reality is from your point of view?
There is a disconnect. I don't think anybody could argue against that. But Phil, look at the interest rates. If the interest rates are so low, there's pretty much free money out there. What would the investors do? They would go to the stock market. Are they going to invest in treasury bonds that are giving such low yields? They're going to go to the stock market, take a free risk, if you will, and take advantage of this opportunity. Having said that, stock market performance is fickle. We cannot look at it and say,
it can change tomorrow.
It can change tomorrow, and I think it will change tomorrow unless the U.S. government takes significant or makes significant progress in this issue, as well as what's happening in Europe as well is going to have an impact on the stock market.
We talked about Europe, we talked about U.S. What about Asia? What's happening in China? It looks like they've got a little rebound coming along. Is that going to be the trend we see in 2013?
We are very happy with what's happening in Asia. I think that's one bright spot here. BRIC countries in general, but China definitely. The external trade numbers are very encouraging. Industrial output is good. But that doesn't mean that there are not downside risks here, obviously. External demand will still depend on what happens in the U.S. and Europe. But it's doing well so far. We called a soft landing in China. That has happened, and I think there's going to be growth starting from second half of 2013.
All right, that's very positive. Saruhan Hatipoglu, thank you very much from Beri Consulting.